It's a very cool piece of equipment. So anything over 48 I was drafting this way. Looks like pretty nice stuff. They should enjoy that. They like that canola. Good morning everyone, what's going on today? I've just, we put some harnesses on these rams, a couple of the stud rams, and just brought them out to these stud ewes. I just shifted these ewes just now, just put them in a new paddock. They're getting a bit hungry, starting to run a little bit short on green grass at the minute, which just got a rain, which it sort of looks like it's going to be a pretty overcast day today. We might get a little bit of rain, which would be good. You know, there's a bit of green pick down in this paddock, obviously because this hasn't been sheep in here for a while, so there's a bit of feed in here for them. But no, we're just putting these rams out and we put the harnesses on so that we know which ewes didn't get in lamb, you know, when they originally went out for joining. So this will give us an August lamb, and yeah, it's just giving the ewes another opportunity to get in lamb. Yeah, because with our stud ewes we'll have a May, June lambing, and then an August, September lamb. Come on, have a look. Yeah, ladies. So this paddock, you can see they've been in this paddock, been out of here for a week now, those stud ewes, but you can see what a good job they've done of sort of just opening up the pasture and cleaning it up. Because this paddock sort of had a fair few sheep on it this year, and there was one lot that got pretty wormy, and so it had a bit of a worm burden on it. But so what the sheep have done is opened it up and sort of letting the heat get onto the soil and down low where the worms are. If we can sort of leave this paddock for a couple of months at least, I mean ideally to get rid of most of the worms you need to sort of leave it for 3 or 4 months, and that's I think at 25 or 30 degree weather. But yeah, hopefully we've set this paddock up for lambing now, which is good. Pretty happy with the job that they've done in here, because there was a lot of feed in here. This is sort of a new pasture, a new Phalaris based pasture, and yeah, gee, there was some feed in here before these girls came in here. And so just getting them to knock it all down, it's just exposing the lower parts of the plants and you know, down lower to the soil, which is exactly what I wanted them to do, to be honest. So we'll leave this destocked as long as we can. Hopefully, I mean it's all sort of sitting there. If we can get a shower of rain, it hasn't been rained on since sheep have been off here. It'd really take off. So yeah, that's just one thing we're sort of trying to think about now is paddocks for lambing, and trying to sort of using the cattle a bit too to knock some of the old grass over, because what cattle will do, where can I show you? So obviously paddocks that haven't had stock in them, they're still sort of green underneath. No, it's not a great example, but what cattle will do, the good thing about cattle is obviously sheep will pick through all this little green stuff and green grass, and they'll just nibble at that. With the cattle, they're a bit less selective, or I suppose they can't be as selective as sheep because they're bigger animals, but they'll come in and they want to get to this green grass, but what they'll do is they'll take all of this and they'll eat all this too, or at least take it out of the ground, at least cut the stalk off it anyway. They might not eat all of it, but just when they're trying to get to their green pick, they generally take a lot of the dead stuff with them too, because that dead stuff, there's no nutritional value in that dead stuff now at this time of year. So that's what we're sort of using the cattle to do with a few paddocks over there at the moment. Here Maggie, here, go back. Push him up. Alrighty, so I've actually gone and I bought our little stud ewe lambs in from down the paddock here, and I'm going to run them through the sheep handler and weigh them and just see what they're doing, and I'll probably draft some of the lighter ones off and start giving them a bit of feed, because we're going to join these ewe lambs. So these would be, the AI ones would have been born at the start of May last year, and then the rest sort of June, July lambs. And then potentially sort of the lighter ones are probably the August, September ones, which I'll probably draft off and give a bit of feed, because they're probably a little bit too small to be joining at the moment. So they sort of range from, you know, 8 to 10 months sort of thing. Yeah, and the reason we're probably joining them as lambs is, well, you know, if we can get an extra lamb out of them, that's a good thing. We do have to make sure we look after them, but also there is a bit of research, a few studies done. A few people have said that if you can get your ewe lambs in lamb when they are lambs, then they're generally fertile, more fertile for the rest of their life. So whether, I haven't read too much into it, but there is a few people saying that. So I think there's a bit of research being done now on all that. So that's the reason we're doing it. But yeah, also got something very exciting to showcase a bit today. So I've talked about it before, but we've been putting electronic tags or EID tags in our stud ewes since 2016, and we've got the wand and everything, but up until now we sort of haven't had software or anything to be able to actually put data onto that tag. And a couple of weeks ago this thing showed up. Got it through Elders in Goulburn there, but it's a very cool piece of equipment. Yeah, it's really cool. I am still, so we're going to use it today, and we're going to weigh these ewes. We'll scan them, and because it's the first time these have been scanned, I've just got to put their visual number in on here. So they've got an EID number, which is some big long number, but then we've got our own number on it, you know, from 0 to 400 I think there is. So I've just got to enter that in the screen, and then I'll record their weights. And you know, this is just one of the things you can do with it. So you can record the weight, and then next time they come in, or next time we weigh them at least, we'll be able to see what their weight was back then and how much they've actually grown, which is a pretty cool bit of data. But the main reason I want to weigh them today, not only for our own records, just to see what rams perhaps, or what ewes are producing a rapid growing lamb, but also if I record their weights today, if they're on the higher end and they don't get in lamb, then we'll probably keep a bit more of an eye on them next year when they get joined again. Just because if they're in good condition now and they're not getting in lamb, just start asking a few questions, and then we'll know for next year if she doesn't have a lam again, then, you know, perhaps we need to think about putting her on the truck. So that's the reason I'm going to record their weights. But yeah, bear with me, because this is only the second time I've used it. I ran all the stud ewes through it and put all their visual numbers in and stuff, and weighed them. But yeah, that's the only day I've used it. So if you see something that I'm doing wrong, or could be doing a lot quicker, then I'd be appreciative if you left a comment or something. But it's a very cool piece of equipment. XR5000 it is. So I just got to Bluetooth it to the reader here. This reads the ear tags. Well, look who's come up to be weighed, hey? It's Jill. Long time no see, hey? Still remember the scratch, obviously, don't you? So I've got about 90 of them off out of 150 something that we're going to join. So these ones, the way I calculated it on their weight was I calculated about 60% of their standard reference weight, which their standard reference weight is the weight of a ewe, full grown, bare shorn, and no gut fill. So I calculated that at about 80 kilos, 75, 80 kilos, and it came out about 48 kilos. So anything over 48 I was drafting this way, and anything under that drafted that way, which they're like, obviously they're split into two different lambing groups. So these ones between as I said, May and some were born in August, September. So, and most of these were born in August, September, so I'm not worried about these at all. There's a few in there that are pretty scrawny, like the lightest one was 28 kilos, which I think there was 3 or 4 of them, but which is not great. But the whole flock, whole mob averaged 48 kilos, which I was pretty happy with, so that's alright. Top was 67, as you can see. So it just gives you a figure, all comes up there, and then next time I come to weigh them, I can just click, it'll come up with a average daily weight gain, average daily weight gain, just here. So that'll be pretty cool next time we get them in, to see, make sure they're actually putting on weight, which there's no reason they shouldn't be. But obviously you can get an average over all your sheep, but the you know, this is taking it to that next level, because you can individualize every sheep on your farm, and you can see what that specific sheep is doing on that day. Yeah, I'm learning. I'm sure there's a hell of a lot more I can do with it. Sort of been reading a fair bit of it online and watching YouTube videos of it. And yeah, it's a very cool piece of equipment. Really enjoying it so far. Alright, so I've just brought the hay feeder down here. I'm going to put a bale of lucerne in this feeder, and the lambs that are getting joined will come in here, and the ones that sort of need a bit of help will go on the ryegrass in there. Ideally you'd have the ones that are getting joined on a really good paddock, but the other ones needed a bit more, I reckon, than these ones. And with this lucerne hay, it's pretty good quality lucerne hay. So this is the stuff we made in the previous cut. It's nice stuff. It's still green and plenty of leaf. So that'll give them the nutritional boost that they're sort of needing when they go out with the ram. But yeah, just the reason, probably didn't say before, the sort of reason separating them is, one, to give them a bit more and, well, help them along a bit more and put them on a better paddock. And two, like if we left them in here with these ones that are getting joined, the rams, it sort of just chase them and annoy them and just disturb them, put unwanted stress on them as well. So that's why I sort of split them up. But we'll just put the lucerne hay in here, get this other old stuff out. Looks like pretty nice stuff. They should enjoy that. So they shouldn't take too long to get on this. The potty lambs are in with these ones. They know what the hay is, and they should at least lead them to it. I don't think these ones had hay when they were on their mums. They got grain, they got trail fed, but they might not know what this stuff is. So hopefully the potty lambs will show them. And I've strategically placed it on a bit of a sheep track where they walk around the paddock. So that'll just attract them even more. So I'm just going to put this this harness on one of these rams, which you have seen these before, so probably pretty self-explanatory, but when the ram jumps on the ewe, then it marks the rump of the ewe, and then you know whether the ewe's going to be in lamb or not. And then just gives us a rough idea of how many are going to be in lamb. Like that. That just slides in there like that, and this goes on the ram. So ewe lambs, so we definitely don't want anything too extreme. So I'm going to put this tatterkeel fella in with them. Make sure it's not too tight, which still is a smaller ram, so it probably needs to be tightened a little bit. Back. Go back. Go back. I like that canola. Go back. Go way back. Good girl. It's a canola down there. Doesn't look too bad. Needs a drink like everything. Go back. Just want to see if they sort of walk the opposite direction to the feeder, so I'll bring them back and see if they will have a feed of that hay straight away. There we go, there's a couple going in for a feed. That's good. They can smell it. They can probably smell the loosened hay. Maybe they have had a bit before. I don't think they're the two potties. Oh, that's good. There is one potty there. Plenty of dust flying about. Alright, sorry, a fair chunk of the day's got away from me there. We actually went up and drenched some sheep up at Doughboy, but I bloody left the GoPro on the motorbike, so apologies for that. So I missed out on a bit of drenching, but I didn't miss too much, so no, they were going alright. There's 2 merino and first cross lambs we had to get in and drench, and then a few weathers too, so that was alright. We got that done. I've just come back out here. You've seen this setup before, but I just thought I'd ask a quick question about wondering if anyone uses the tank level monitors on their tanks, obviously, and if you don't know what that is, it's just a sort of a sensor, electronic sensor that reads the tank level and sends it up and then sends it back to your phone. And it's just good for situations like this that you know, we're sort of in the middle of nowhere really, and it's a bit of a pain to get up. Well, it's not a pain, it's just a thing you got to do. You got to come up here and check the level of the tank and make sure that the cattle haven't run out of water, because cattle, very much more so than sheep, you know, they really need a lot of water. So you really don't want them running out, or your sheep either, but sheep just obviously don't drink as much, and yeah, they can get a lot of water out of the grass. But yeah, I just sort of asked that question. I sort of haven't had anything to do with them really, so any info on it would be great. I know there is those sort of float things with the yellow, they're like a thing with a yellow float on top of them that go up and down with the water. That tells you, but you still got to get out here to have a look at it. It'd be easy if you can just check the level on your phone, and it's all integrated into AgriWeb too, so it'd all work with that. There's a fair few of the monitors that work with AgriWeb, so no, I just sort of asked that. Anyone that's used them before? Yeah, we've got the cattle in this paddock trying to chew it out. Just trying to prep some paddocks for lambing. So, you know, trying to knock, as I said this morning, I think, just trying to knock all the old grass down and open that soil, and just, you know, then when it rains we'll get a good growth. And as you can see, there's a fair bit of dry stuff, but a lot of green underneath that the cattle will try and chew. So, but I think hopefully that's made enough for another video. I'm just going to start this hump, and then I'm going to check some sheep on the way home, and then that'll near do me, I think. Days are getting shorter, so it's only 6:30, I think, and it's already looking like it's getting dark. But winter's upon us, unfortunately, or coming. It's, what is it, the 1st or 2nd of March today, and yeah, so we're out of summer and into autumn, unfortunately. But anyway, goes around, comes around. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that one, and with that, we'll catch you in the next one. Alrighty, see ya, bye. I thought I would just quickly show you before I go this Peloton Raphno that I was talking about. This is it. It's a fair bit different to, or a little bit different to a canola, and it's a radish cross a kale, so it's looking pretty good here. And I'll keep harping on about it, but it needs some rain. Oh, it's like it's still moisture down. You keep digging, like see there's moisture down there, which hopefully these roots are accessing, which is probably why it's sort of kicking along a bit. This paddock is a little bit heavier too, so some of the paddocks that we've got are a bit sandy, and they've sort of lost a fair bit of their moisture and are looking for rain. But yeah, this paddock's actually not too bad looking at it now. I thought it would be a bit dry because we've had some pretty hot weather, so, and no rain, but it seems to be holding pretty well. So it's cracking along though. Anyway, I'm off now. Seriously.
Show you my world. Show you the world, darling. Let's leave it all behind. We'll keep the sun shining and let it tell the time.